Welcome to another episode of the Jet and Mike podcast. Jet, we took a little vacation.
Yeah, man. I've been MIA, man, but I'm trying to get back into it, man. I had a long night last night, so.
Well, Jet, without any further ado, I'm gonna let you loose on everybody because they ain't heard from you, brother. But you sparked our first topic for this week.
Oh, did I?
NBA 2K released the cover athlete for 2K17. It is Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. Young Jethro was none too pleased. He took to Facebook to comment about how poo he thought it was.
Boo-boo water.
Talk to your people.
Boo-boo water. All right. Now, the argument that's been made to me, in which it's a valid argument, you got to think, Jet. Coming back off of the injury that he suffered, such a severe injury, blase, blah. I get it, okay? I get it. And as far as that's concerned, yes, he did have a good year considering everything that he's been through. With that being said, there are plenty of other players in this league deserving of that cover other than a man who... Yeah, and then they also said, oh, well, he comes back from this injury and he takes his team to the playoffs. And then what did he do in the playoffs? Get his ass ran like he's continued to do every year when he gets there. I don't want to hear it. See, it's funny because when you talk about certain things, getting to the playoffs is, that's I mean, which I'm not saying it's not an accomplishment, but that's like, oh, well, at least you got him to the playoffs and da-da-da. But then when it comes to other players, it's unacceptable to just get your team to the playoffs.
Right.
Like it's for me, he had a good year, but there are others that had a better year and more deserving. I know what he came back from was tough. What he had to come back from was a tough injury, and he came back well. Not debating that, but I just feel like in my heart there were other players more deserving of that cover. And, I don't even think, and I know how they do the case or the covers with the sometimes they have multiple covers, and if I'm not mistaken, they're doing a Kobe legend cover, one of those. But even with that being said, when there are multiple covers that you could get one or the other, I still don't even think the Paul George should have been in the discussion. I just don't. Boo-boo water. So 2K, you took an L for that one.
Okay.
But people are still going to buy the game because it's 2K, so
naturally.
Whatever.
My take on this, I think, is that Paul George is deserving of at least some. I mean, he's actually a really great player. He's
deserving of an 89 overall. He's not deserving of a cover.
I mean, but he really reminds me of Tracy McGrady in a lot of aspects. Great crossover, great dribble, tall, can dunk the heck out of a basketball. Great with his hands, great passer. Facilitates for his team and everything like that. Paul George does a lot, but what cancels him out is the fact that he isn't winning like that. I mean, they just barely made it into the playoffs in the East. I mean, in the West, I mean, they wouldn't even been considered.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, I mean, Paul George is an athlete. I mean, he's a heck of an athlete. He's a heck of a player. He does great work on the rim. So, I mean,
yeah,
you can't be too upset with him. But to segue to our next portion, who, Jet, are your top 5 people that you would have put over Paul George on the cover of 2K17, and why?
Well, at number 1, obviously, Steph Curry, because the man has done amazing things this year. The past few years, he's been great. And I know he got one last year, but so 2, I guess Steph is the only one that I could put actually number 1. The rest of these aren't in any particular order. I feel like you know what, honestly, and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this one. I think Draymond might have been deserving of 1.
Wow, Draymond Green.
Now I know that being compared to Paul George and what Paul George has to do for his team, because like the whole LeBron thing. Without him, they're not whatever. But I just feel like Draymond had a great couple years, and I mean, with being snubbed on the All-Star voting this year, I feel like Draymond truly gets overlooked for a lot of things, and that's just because of the superstar and Stephen Curry. But I mean, that team, we talk about taking Steph Curry off of a team or a LeBron off of a team, and can they win and whatever. If you take Draymond off of that Warriors team with Steph Curry in the lineup and Klay Thompson and everybody else, I mean, that team, I mean, yeah, they can still win games, but they don't have that same heart. They don't have that same passion. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like Joakim Noah is for the Bulls.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I get where you're coming from. I was going to have to stop you there for a second.
Yeah.
You was going to say that this team wouldn't be successful without him.
No, yeah, definitely not. They would still win games. I think they would still be first in the West. I feel like they would still be first in the league.
But he's able to light a fire under them.
Exactly. There's just a different passion that they have when he's in that game and when he gets him amped. So yeah, that Draymond would have been another one. Obviously, LeBron being one, because he's just a great all around player.
I'm tired of LeBron covers.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
What's that? 3. Okay, so fourth, I think. A fourth from this year. Lillard. I wouldn't have been upset with Dame Lillard with a Lillard cover.
I mean, he got NBA Live cover last year. That's any consolation.
A consolation it is. NBA Live. I haven't played live since like 2008. I think that was like the last good one they had. And then 5. Ooh, 5. That's. See, I'm trying to think of the big men that I would potentially in LA, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Potentially, why wouldn't you just outright?
I would. He's had a great year with the Spurs. I would give him that.
I about had enough of you and this blatant overlook of LaMarcus Aldridge. What is wrong with you? LaMarcus Aldridge is the man. I keep trying to tell you this.
Nice.
A healthy LaMarcus Aldridge can average 25 and 20.
That's true.
25 points,
Truth.
20 rebounds. I'm telling you, I believe it. I know it.
Truth.
He is by far the best big man we have in the game. Better than Blake Griffin, Michael Milligan. Better than Blake Griffin.
Oh, well, that's no question.
I mean,
that's no question, because Blake Griffin can't step out and shoot that ball like that boy.
He
doesn't have the post move. I know Blake Griffin's got some moves down the post and he can't score the basketball, but how much more quick LaMarcus is with that ball than Blake, and
it's like a catch and shoot.
How crafty he is, and yeah, you leave him open at 15 feet, like that's automatic. You know what I mean? So, no, I get that. Now let me ask you a question. Since we're on LaMarcus Aldridge, do you think a healthy LaMarcus Aldridge with this current Portland Trailblazers team that made a playoff run?
No, still not enough.
Not enough for them?
Because they actually lost pieces and, I mean, barely limped into the playoffs. Even with LaMarcus, it still wouldn't be enough to make some noise. They would be like the Clippers, second rounders. You know,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, but could they beat Memphis in the 7-game series? Yeah. I mean, but can you beat San Antonio? Can you beat OKC? Can you beat the Warriors? The teams you need to beat to get out the West?
Yeah.
No.
And you know what's crazy is a lot of teams this year. In the previous years, are focused on, getting star players and stuff like that and trying to get a big 3 and a big 2. Well, and honestly, the big 3s are starting to kind of die down a little bit. Now it's going back to the duos, you know what I mean? The front court or the back court. I forget how they do that. But one thing that, and to your credit, LaMarcus Aldridge on that Portland Trailblazers team, on this year's Portland Trailblazers team, that bench isn't deep enough. And so they would definitely get. So that's, I feel like
that Spurs bench wasn't deep enough, and we all thought. I don't think there's anybody except for the people in OKC that really truly believed they were going to beat the Spurs.
Yeah, really. And what's so crazy about that is you think about how underrated the Spurs are going into every year, and it's like and for what reason they're just the most quiet team in the league, but one of the best teams in the league. But then, like you say, when you get to playoff time, then it's like, oh, the Spurs aren't going to, you know what I mean? If the Spurs lose, it's going to be in the conference finals or something, but maybe not. If you let them go that far, then they're not losing.
Right.
And then it was like, that was like, so as underrated and as like much of a sleeper they are, ironically, going into each season, it was just funny. It was just crazy how they got put out this year. I don't know. Like you said, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. Not that OKC team. And then when that OKC team beat them, it's like, well, damn, they're going to give the Warriors a run for their money, man. And that they did. And they broke down with one game to go. I don't. You know, but I was just wondering about that because I was thinking, you know, the Portland Trailblazers had a good year this year, and whether or not that LaMarcus Aldridge. But you're right, because these days in the NBA, if you don't have a bench,
you go nowhere.
I mean, think about it, man. The player of the game in Game 1 of the Finals was your sixth man,
Sean Livingston, the backup point guard.
Central Illinois boy, stand up.
20 points in that game, new career finals high. But back to the original question, because I mean, the original one was the top 5 on the case.
The case cover, yeah. What's yours?
Top 5 going for me. Number 5, Boogie Cousins out of Sacramento.
Ooh, dang! I snubbed him.
Never forget about Boogie. Boogie has consistently for years now, for about 3-4 years, been able to step out, pop anywhere from the free throw line on down, pop J's. As well as he has nice post work. Now he's trying to add the 3-pointer to his game to be able to run with the EuroLeague players who come over to the NBA who can shoot the 3. So that's going to make him even more dangerous. He's trying to adapt and get what LaMarcus already has. Basically, what I'm saying is Boogie needs to be number 5. DeMarcus Cousins is a great basketball player, and he can do a lot.
That's a good one.
Number 4, I'm going to go with. Who do I want to put in number 4? Chris Paul. I guess I'll go ahead and put number 4. And Chris Paul was on cover case 09 of 2K9. But I still think that Chris Paul would be great. No, it was 2K8. It was 2K8. He was the cover of, and I mean, and that's fine. That's great. But I mean, it's 2016, 2017 coming out now. So I think that he would have been a great addition. Or whatever, Chris Paul would have looked real nice on the cover of 2K9. Of 2K9 of 2K17. I also think that number 3 should be Russell Westbrook.
Damn, why did I overlook him? Yeah, I got
Russell Westbrook. I mean, he opened a lot of eyes.
I'll replace
Golden State series.
I'll replace him with Damian Lillard in mind, as well as Dame played. I had to throw Westbrook in there because he had an unbelievable year. Unbelievable, no question.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook has been balling out of his mind. Number 2, I'm going to go with 1, Jimmy Butler. And that's just the Chicago Bull in me is just saying that. I mean, like I said, I mean you know how I feel about the Bulls.
Yes, sir.
You know, I have a special place in my heart for them. That's my team.
Always.
And I ride or die with them. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, and then number 1, who I think should have been on the cover case instead of Paul George, is Kawhi Leonard.
Wow.
Kawhi Leonard deserves a lot more credit for really being the glue and the backbone of that San Antonio Spurs team. LaMarcus is still learning the game plan of Popovich, whereas Kawhi already knows. So in spots where LaMarcus may miss or LaMarcus may not hit the right spot or not set that pick,
Yeah.
who are they going to turn to pick things up and to make things work?
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
True.
Kawhi Leonard is, without a doubt, the biggest part of the Spurs now. You never thought you'd say that because the Spurs are always so good. You always had so many good different players, intricate players, especially their big three who are now the big fossils.
Mm-hmm. But then they're starting to. I mean, Popovich is starting them young, man. He's got a young team that
he just needs to get himself another point guard to replace Parker, because you already got the big man. You already got Tim Duncan's replacement, LaMarcus. You already got Ginobili's replacement, Kawhi. And Kawhi is better than Ginobili ever could have hoped to have been.
Yeah.
If Kawhi develops a sniper 3-pointer, it'll be game over.
Yeah.
He'll be league MVP by 2020.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
But they need to go get Michael Conley.
Ooh, that'd be nice for them. In that system, that would be nice.
They need to go pick up Michael Conley, or Michael Conley needs to leave the Grizzlies. And Michael Conley is a free agent this year, so Michael Conley needs to go and play for the Spurs. He don't even need to sit 1 year under Tony Parker. He should start instead of Tony Parker because Tony Parker's wheels are breaking down.
Yeah,
but Conley needs to go to that Spurs system. A system that he can learn, he can establish within himself, and that he can move it forward with Popovich.
Right.
They would win 3 or 4 more San Antonio Spurs championships with that 3. And then you put intricate core players, intricate bench players around them that can help keep that core together and alive. David West could stay there and be backup, or David West could start. You can start LaMarcus and David West. They both can play off of each other and play down and low or out. Like I said, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the Spurs have a world of opportunity. They're expected to make a push for Kevin Durant. I don't think they'll get him, but Michael Conley would not be a bad.
No,
what do I want to say? Consolation prize?
Exactly.
But you don't want to demean him by saying it's a consolation prize.
Right.
Michael Conley.
But compared to Kevin Durant.
But Michael Conley is a great guard.
Yeah, he is.
Honestly,
he's smart.
People were saying Michael Conley needs to go to the Thunder and actually run that offense, and Russell Westbrook needs to go to being the 2 guard. Like I said,
that wouldn't be a bad look, honestly.
Yeah.
But Westbrook isn't having it. He needs to dominate the ball, or else he's not. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's not in his zone if he's not
dominating the basketball.
If you don't run the offense through him, you know what I mean? Or if he's not the one creating plays, creating shots for people.
True that.
I just don't think it's going to be the same game. But with
you definitely want to see those triple doubles out of him.
Yeah.
If you get a guard like a Michael Conley.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was just gonna say, speaking of free agency, do you think the Bulls are actually going to trade Jimmy Butler to Boston, or do you think that? I know it's just talks right now and rumors, but if that becomes a possibility, do you honestly think our Chicago Bulls are gonna get rid of Jimmy Butler?
No,
I hope not, because.
No, Jimmy Butler is worth too much. They don't have anything. Boston doesn't have anything to offer outside of Isaiah Thomas that could equate a Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm. And we already got a point guard. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
What
I said, it's not. That's not going to happen.
All right, I'd hope not, because I don't want to have to write a letter to the front office and curse everybody in there out. If I have to, then. It can be done. It can be done.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking this time to listen to our podcast. And again, give us your thoughts. Your top 5 NBA players that you think should have made it over Paul George on the 2K17 cover case for this year's NBA 2K series. Let us know. We ask that you like this post. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jet Mike. And we ask that you comment below and tell us what your top 5 players to put on your 2K17 cover case would be. Thanks so much for listening, guys.